finalized voting tabulations. We got election results overnight for the Democratic and Republican gubernatorial nominations, along with Congressional District 2. We now officially know it will be Republican Bobby Charles, Democrat Hannah Pingree, and Rick Bennett on the independent side vying for the Blaine House. Meanwhile, Matt Dunlap will be up against former Governor Paul LePage for the 2nd Congressional district seat. LePage ran unopposed during that primary. Now, we spoke with Chief Deputy Secretary of State Kate McBrien to get her thoughts on how everything went.
It is so important that every single vote be recognized, be counted, and be part of this ranked choice tabulation process. And so that's what we did, is we made sure every vote was there, everyone had their voice heard. And it does take a bit longer, but the results mean everything is accurate.
Well, the final results came in around 2 o'clock this morning after a little over 5 full days of tabulations. I was one of the folks here monitoring for those results, so we did have a late night. For more results and information, you can visit this story on our website. That's foxbangor.com. And now that the winners have been chosen, all of the gubernatorial candidates made appearances today to thank voters and discuss where they stand as the real work begins.
This campaign is about housing that allows young people to actually stay here in the state of Maine. Right, Mr. Speaker? Yes. This is about health care that we can afford, no matter what corner of Maine you're in. Again, whether you're in a rural hospital in Holton or urgent care in Portland. It is about Maine's potential, a real future for our kids.
But people are angry. They want solutions. And that's the reason I'm standing here in front of you. I've never run for anything in my life. I'm just like you. I'm just like you in the sense that I am sick and tired of all the things we're putting up with, in my view, a betrayal of trust and a betrayal of integrity.
We have Hannah Pingree, who I respect, but she's a continuation of the Mills administration, was really second in command of the Mills administration. Bobby Charles is, has spent most of his life in the bureaucracy in Washington and then lobbying for corporate interests in Washington. So I think that when people see my background of commitment to this state, experience both in solving problems in the public sector and leading in the public sector, as well as creating jobs and growing businesses in the private sector here in Maine, the choice will be clear.
Well, switching gears now, 2 people have been arrested after a shooting on a trail in Bangor. Just after 11:30 p.m. on June 15th, Bangor police officers responded to a 911 call made from Talbot Trail on Stillwater Avenue. Detective Lieutenant Brent Bollier says the caller reported a man had been shot by an unknown assailant who had then fled the scene. Bollier says after arriving, officers found a man with several gunshot wounds. He was taken to a local hospital for treatment. According to Bollier, the victim told police he was walking on the trail when an unknown man allegedly approached him, briefly talked to him before he began firing a gun at him. Detectives searched a residence at 17 Stillwater Avenue on June 17th. Bollier says they arrested 38-year-old Justin Grover of Bangor and charged him with possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. 35-year-old Christina Hart of Bangor was also arrested. Hart is charged with obstruction of government administration, disorderly conduct, and refusing to submit to arrest. Bollier says the incident is still under investigation and more charges are expected. Well, the Maine Marine Patrol is investigating a fatality that occurred Thursday when a crew member fell off a fishing vessel. It happened in Hurricane Sound near Vinyl Haven. The deceased has been identified as 57-year-old Marshall Ames of North Haven. The Marine Patrol says a distress call came over VHF radio about 4:45 p.m. yesterday that a man had fallen overboard from the fishing vessel Long Faces. A Good Samaritan began CPR while transporting Ames to shore, where he was pronounced dead. The Marine Patrol contacted the captain of the boat, 39-year-old Jeffrey Barrett, and they say an altercation with Marine Patrol officers occurred at the dock during the investigation. Barrett is charged with assault, refusal to submit to a chemical test, and felony boating under the influence. Another crew member, 27-year-old Theodore Lane, is also charged with assault and disorderly conduct. Well, Maine is taking a major step to protect wildlife from a common rat poison. State regulators have approved new restrictions on some of the most toxic rodenticides sold to consumers. Our Alex Schley tells us what's changing and why supporters say the move could save countless animals.
The Maine Board of Pesticide Control unanimously voted to ban a toxic class of rodenticides.
Rodenticides are chemicals that are used to address the presence of rodents, and there's two different categories. There are anticoagulants and non-anticoagulants. Anticoagulants, like their name sort of leads you to think here, have ingredients that actually halt the blood clotting process of rodents that eventually leads to fatal internal bleeding.
The action follows passage of LD 356, a law passed last year that directed the board to address rodenticides use in outdoor residential settings. Officials say the concern is that the rodenticide can stay in rodents' tissue for so long that they can affect other animals unintentionally.
And there are some kinds of anticoagulants that are so strong that they persist in the animal's tissue so long that they are in our environment. And unfortunately, non-target wildlife like hawks, owl, fox, bobcat, even bear will be impacted by the presence of those chemicals.
Environmental advocates are calling on Mainers to use alternative rodent control methods.
Maine Audubon is encouraging folks to do is thinking about prevention and exclusion. So what can you do to actually stop the problem from even becoming a problem? You know, seal entry points into your dwellings, secure trash and any kind of food sources, and remove anything that could be used for nesting.
The regulation took effect June 15th, meaning products will no longer be sold in stores. For more information on which products have been banned, go to our website, foxbangor.com. Alex Schley reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
To effectively fight wildfires in Maine and in other parts of the country, firefighters must go through serious training. Those with ambitions to help others went through just that today in Augusta. Maine Forest Service's Wildland Firefighter Field Exercise provided students an opportunity to practice wildfire suppression tactics using hand tools and water pumps, as well as fire shelter deployment techniques. Officials say the course is a requirement for those pursuing National Wildland Firefighting qualifications.
Everyone here loves fighting fire, so we're all here for the same reason, to get the card or renew the red card and go fight more.
I work for Kennebec County Emergency Management Agency. It's a benefit to know about what they're doing.
Wildfire is a very dangerous environment to be in, and being a wildfire firefighter can be very dangerous too. So this course properly teaches how to be safe in that environment and how to do the job effectively and get home as well.
Well, today's training was held at the Maine Forest Service Southern Region headquarters in Augusta. Alrighty, folks, let's peek outside and get a first check of our forecast.
Tonight's first weather is brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the quality automotive difference, reliable service, and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Much nicer day out there than we had yesterday. We're back into those mid to low 70s. And unfortunately, we will be there for a while now. We'll be back there for us once again tomorrow, back into those low to mid 70s. Now, also, we have a few showers and thunderstorms that are making their way into the state. Those will go through overnight tonight. And as I said yesterday, we still have more chances of showers and thunderstorms continuing on into your Saturday and then also into your Sunday. Now, for tonight, temperatures falling into the upper 50s.
And there is so much more to come. Stay with us.
Maine may be a small state, but we face big challenges, and Senator Susan Collins delivers solutions. When our veterans were left out in the cold, Susan Collins secured $3.6 million to help end veteran homelessness. And Collins co-sponsored the bill to protect military spouses' survivor benefits and provide rural veterans access to VA facilities. With her dedication, Susan Collins secures victories time and again for our veterans. Tell Senator Susan Collins to keep championing solutions for Maine's veterans.
Need a driveway paved or an entire road surfaced? Give Eaton Paving and Excavation a call. Eaton Paving offers a full line of excavation packages, from new home projects to new and replacement septics and driveways. We also install new shoreland and do shoreland repairs. Our operators have more than 75 years combined experience, and we have been delivering quality, professional service for nearly 3 decades. We strive to exceed your expectations. Give us a call today at 207-348-5630 or visit us at EatonPaving.com.
Make your outdoor living space dreams come true with a little help from Granville Stone and Hearth. Granville can help you go from this to this. Outdoor fireplaces, custom outdoor kitchens, gorgeous stone patios, and more. You bring the dreams, we'll supply the materials to make it all real. Create your stunning outdoor oasis with help from the experts at Granville Stone and Hearth, Main Road, Holden.
The best decision I ever made was to jump in with 2 feet into healthcare. It fills my outside life, not just my career. It fills my heart, you know? I was interested in surgical technology and working in the OR because there's a little mystique behind it. You make very meaningful relationships with people. You're in situations that can be high stress, but you're all there together and you're there for the betterment of this particular person that's there. And to be on the forefront of all of that, I think it's absolutely amazing.
Today is Juneteenth, and an annual tradition in Brewer commemorates the end of slavery. Our Sam Miller has the story.
Brewer's Chamberlain Freedom Park holds an extraordinary amount of history, and Friday marked another chapter of an historic annual tradition. Around 11 a.m. Friday morning, people gathered in Brewer for its 22nd annual celebration of Juneteenth, one of the most important dates in U.S. history. Juneteenth, a combination of the date June 19th, marks a day in 1865 when Union troops marched to Galveston, Texas to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the last remaining slaves in the country. The ceremony included comments from advocates and officials about remembering those who persevered through the brutality of slavery and the continuous pursuit of equality.
The world is in need of voices that remind people that there are people in the world that need your help. But most important of all is to let you know that you can make a difference. You have the ability to spread some love.
92-year-old James Varner of the Maine Human Rights Coalition has lived through some of the nation's most important moments, including the March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. Varner says equality is as simple as spreading kindness to everyone you meet.
Any human being that you see is your brother or your sister. And just treat them like you want to be treated. That's a simple thing.
Juneteenth has been recognized as a federal holiday since 2021. And local historian David Payne says celebrating this day brings people together through awareness and support.
To see gatherings like this of different ethnicities and cultures to come together, it really helps acknowledge and embellish everything, within myself that, pushing forward and having that support is really a developmental site for me and for everyone around.
The ceremony concluded with a wreath hanging next to the North to Freedom statue on State Street. In Brewer, Sam Miller, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Folks, stay with us. Your national headlines are just ahead.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Jado Highlands Golf Course, nestled in the woods of Lincoln, just a short drive from Bangor or Holton. Designed for players of all abilities, Jado features everything a golfer desires. 18 fully irrigated holes, driving range, practice green, and a golf shop with instruction available. JADO maintains quality course conditions while proudly displaying some of the most scenic views in Maine. Challenge yourself to a round of golf surrounded by the beauty of Maine at JADO Highlands Golf Course.
Maine's rural hospitals are struggling, but Senator Susan Collins came to the rescue, delivering critical federal funding for upgraded facilities and life-saving diagnostic equipment. Susan Collins does her job, and our hospitals benefited. Call and thank her for delivering for Maine.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contracts, no commitment. Just great internet at a great price. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the fastest and most reliable internet for everything you do at home. Streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
Celebrate this 4th of July with Phantom Fireworks, the loudest, brightest, safest fireworks around. Phantom Fireworks, lighting up backyards of America from coast to coast. Visit fireworks.com for a location near you.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Iran says nuclear talks with the U.S. will be rescheduled after they pulled out of planned negotiations in Switzerland. Tehran blamed the breakdown on fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, but a renewed ceasefire is now supposedly in effect. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
These Israeli strikes on Hezbollah targets across southern Lebanon almost ended nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran before they even started. The first round of negotiations in Switzerland was postponed, but with all parties agreeing to a new ceasefire, Tehran says talks will be rescheduled in the coming days.
It's 60 days. They have to make a deal, otherwise we will do things that won't make them happy, but I don't think it's going to get to that. I think it's going to be very good.
President Donald Trump reportedly called Israeli leaders Friday, urging them to back off on the strikes in Lebanon. It comes after this warning from Vice President J.D. Vance to Israeli officials criticizing the peace deal.